10.
Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, and all variations thereof. And welcome.
Why are you becoming an opera singer this time around?
I've just realised he's wearing the glasses over the mask. It looks amazing.
Yes, he is.
What? Hang on, I gotta take a
Look, I need the glasses, okay? I actually actively have found myself,
I haven't seen Lucian long enough that he grew facial hair. What?
Yeah, like the combination.
I've had a
of
beard
glasses,
for ages. I've
the
always
glasses,
had a beard.
The goggles, the
was
mask,
with
the
beer a few
beard.
weeks- a
You're
few
a very
months back,
busy character design right now.
Yeah,
Like, if you were just clean shaven with the mask and the suit, then maybe it would work. But I feel like it's maybe it's like 4 different character designs clashed.
The beard darkens the frame as a whole, so it makes the mask stand out more. It looks like the mask's just kind of floating, which is cool.
I think it's more that the glasses are floating.
I'm just proud of traumatizing him with the fucking persona mask a couple of streams back.
Oh God! Don't remind me, Ed. I saw you going for it, and my instant reaction was just to go, no, dear God, no.
Well, it's not my fault. There's 2 even close masks. No one's done like a proper masquerade-y one.
Tempted to redeem the no sound alert, but I couldn't remember how to do it.
I mean, that's not like a. You'd be looking more for an office style no, rather than the I am being teleported away. No.
I mean, either way, it works. Anyway,
I seem to be stuck in the ocean again.
Yes, you're looking at the wrong Ed. Don't worry.
There's
Why
another
am I
Ed.
always in the ocean?
Don't worry.
There's
You're
Wait,
dead
we
now.
get 2 Eds
Finally,
now?
he's gone.
Although I don't know where in the... Oh, well, I'll just do this. There we go. Okay. So, last we left off, how... Oh my God. What was last session?
He's dead! He's dead!
Who's dead?
The giant is dead!
Oh,
the guy
yes.
came following, coming through the gate, underneath.
That's what you guys remember. But
Yes.
I remember something different, because the last session I had was the one-shot with Ed.
Did another giant get involved?
No,
Maybe.
not
That's gonna be the
exactly.
running theme. Every time we're off camera, there's a giant.
Something like that. I
Good point,
suppose.
because you had this as well, Darren.
Yeah.
At any rate,
Missed the session, giant.
last
This is
session,
camera.
Turns out this
our
is in fact
intrepid
Attack on Titan.
party. Well, quite a few
there we
things
are.
happened to our intrepid party last session, as a matter of fact. Let's see.
got a
Darren
guy.
met his great-grandfather. Let's see. Ingvar had a pleasant time drinking.
Gills fell
Gil-
asleep under a table.
Fell asleep under a table and proceeded to terrify a poor old man in a shop into giving him resources for his new mule. And
Well, we need something to carry the doors.
Ed met the servant of the god of the dead.
Excellent.
As you do.
So
Perfectly normal
yeah,
Wednesday.
an interesting situation all round. As the 3 of our party members who've stayed in the world of the living are standing around at the stables where we last left them, a scout stumbles through the gate of the town of Dre, crying out in no small manner that a giant has been found dead. As this happens, as this happens, the book that is currently in Gilk's possession starts to rumble violently.
Well, this is new.
Oh, great. Book summary.
And in a sparkle of light and rather dramatic flair, Isaac gets catapulted out of Gilk's backpack and into a pile of mule manure in front of them.
Oh dear.
Welcome back.
You have a fun trip?
Yeah, it's okay. Where the fuck are we?
Next town over.
Right. And it's what day?
Tuesday?
What
Does
he
anyone
said.
actually know what day it is?
Well, it's been about
Not a
3
clue.
days since you guys last asked, and the last time it was the 19th. I don't know what day of the week it is. I will be honest. I haven't
No.
looked that far into it.
It's a,
No,
it's a Tuesday. Right.
Fair enough. Yeah. Okay. All right. Tuesday. And that's what, a day in. Well, I'm guessing it's pretty obvious I was in a book.
Yeah, well,
The-
yeah. What happened there? You were just there and then you weren't.
That's about it, really. Book started glowing, opened book, ended up inside book, inside World of Dead, lot of bureaucracy, a lot of red tape, and now back. That's about it. I'm really eager not to do that again. Also, where's my fucking gun?
He's got it.
Who's he?
Darren.
Points at Darren.
I figured it would be best if I was the one holding it for the time being.
a rogue holding a weapon. Who'd have seen it coming?
He wouldn't let me shoot it.
I'm gonna take a wild guess and say I'm probably the person here with the greatest concerns around gunpowder. So I figured I was the best person for the job there.
That wasn't
And I'll
as
hand it
solid.
back to its rightful owner.
In which case, he's gonna sort of just motion you a little closer and just sort of tap it a little bit. Doesn't run on gunpowder.
All the more reason for me to keep an eye on it then.
And all the more reason I'm grateful. And just holsters that and sits upright. And
I will hand it across like handle first
Oh,
as
yeah,
opposed to muzzle.
and also, I would guess with the sort of tippy finger hold because you don't want to be anywhere near Isaac right now.
I don't know if it has a safety, but if so, I'm hoping you leave it on.
Next point. Do we all smell of shit, or is that just me?
Just here.
Just you.
As Gil
Mom.
kind of like just
Well,
goes
maybe
and
Gil.
sniffs under his arm.
Okay,
mean,
so that's 2 knots and 1 outlier.
I mean, I haven't showered up by it for a couple of days, but I don't think I smell that bad.
I mean, it was a
Probably.
crazy night at the bar.
For you, maybe.
Okay.
Where you went to sleep in an actual bed and not under the table.
Oh, did we get attacked in this one as well?
Oh no, no.
Not yet, at least.
Just Guild decided to get absolutely plastered at the bar, and we left them. You know,
Fair
just let them get on with it.
Fair enough then. Right. Where the? I know we said next town over, but where the fuck are we and where the fuck we going?
Did anybody get the name of the town? I kind of forgot.
Well, Meta, I know it's Dre from what Lucian said, but I don't know if any of the actual characters know.
We just wandered in. I think.
Technically speaking, none of you have actually looked at the name of the town, so no, none of you
Correct,
actually
yeah.
know where you are.
In which case, at seeing this on everyone's faces, just did nobody think to read a road sign?
I just know we were going north.
Well, I got
established
here
that
being
some
followed by
time ago.
I got here by being followed by like an actual murderer, so I was a bit
Another
preoccupied.
one.
Just gonna deftly point to Gilk.
He seemed... Yeah, bleh. Darwin
They were
seems to be...
bandits. They deserve to die.
They were tied up and helpless.
They tried to kill us multiple times. I have the wounds to prove it.
Well,
Even
they
though they're
failed.
bandits.
Clearly, they weren't very good at it.
Right.
I took his armor.
Should we be moving somewhere else if there's murderers? Other than the murderers that we murdered?
No, they're all dead.
Behind you, there's a quiet cough as the stable master sort of looks at you three with a peculiar expression on his face.
Oh, don't worry
Morning.
about it. Don't
Sorry,
worry
we're
about it.
rehearsing a play. It's a long-running joke. Don't worry about it. We're fine.
The stable master sort of... his eyebrow twitches and he shrugs and just sort of walks away at this point.
I guess he hasn't heard of the new hit play, the dwarf, the barbarian, and the tired ranger.
Yeah. We'll call it the Council of Elrond.
At least it's not the council of mixed fruits.
Did you want your book back?
I can't hear a word you're saying. Gilk over the honking. We'll wait it out.
Yep.
Lydia, how could you?
Sorry.
Carry on.
Did that even... No, that didn't actually type or anything, did it? No.
No.
Ah, yes, because I don't have a character yet. That'd be why.
Well, no, you're assigned to him.
No, I
Press
can...
enter.
Yeah,
Press
I
enter,
can move
type.
me. I can move me around, but I'm not on the little like sidebar.
Yeah, you are.
Now
there
you are.
Yeah. I see you.
I'll go out.
Relog.
I was gonna say I'm going out and going in again. Hang on.
Oh my.
We've got a... Because I remember this happened to you lying like a few sessions back, didn't it?
Yeah.
Where
I'm just
there
gonna
wasn't
imagine
you.
that when we're not logged in, our characters are just stood there idly.
Oh, okay, there we go.
Just doing the idle animations. Occasionally like stretching a shoulder.
Now I can speak. There we go.
Yay.
Because it was coming with speak as character name question mark in brackets. We can all talk while we type it.
That is the question.
Anyway, as the four of you stand around, in the middle of a very muddy, slightly shit-filled stable yard, a group of town guards is rushing to the front gate.
Oh, right. I forgot about him.
Well, that's our cue.
I'm getting too old for this.
Yeah.
As you approach the guards, Gilk,
I have a question,
you-
sir.
go for it.
Does being temporarily book dead count as a long rest?
Sure,
Oh.
fuck it, why not?
Cool. Carry on.
Oh, by the way, I have to answer Sliver's question here. Sliver, I have to look up the main character from Die Hard, and yes, Lucian does look a little bit like the bad guy from the original Die Hard movie.
Interesting.
Oh, yeah, I can kinda see it,
Don't
yeah.
particularly care to know what that looks like.
Alan
Look in the mirror.
Rickman throwing people out of a window.
No,
Oh yeah, no, I'm happy to look like that.
And I cannot remember the character's specific name, but he has some like amazing one-liner afterwards, which like Mr. Creedy won't be joining us for the rest of his life.
Right. Gil, as you approach the cluster of guards, the scout, who is standing under the gate, looks pale and shaken. And he's gesturing wildly and speaking hurriedly and going, there was a giant, massive, absolutely massive, it was at the bottom of the stairs, dead bodies everywhere. It was a massacre.
I wouldn't say massacre. They attacked us first.
One of the guards turns to you and says, this was your doing?
That was the end result of them attacking us, yes.
Yes, we were.
What provocation? What would excuse a massacre?
They were bandits.
They tried. Excuse me, sir. They tried to kidnap us in the middle of the night. Bound us, tied us, dragged us down the stairs. Tried to throw us in the dungeon.
Cages
The
in the
elf was not
basement
my
part.
fault. They killed the elf with poison soup.
Yeah, I did ask if he was alright, but he just fell off his chair.
The guard stares at you for a moment and goes, this is... We'll need to take this to the town elder.
So we need to speak with him.
Fair enough with me.
The guard in front sort of turns and starts walking down the main road of the town towards the large house at the other end.
Well, you will follow?
You are welcome to follow. You don't have to, but it is probably a good idea to do so.
I am following.
What if I get the map to cooperate though?
Yeah, move on it, lad. We ain't got all day. Although I do not remember why we needed to speak to him, but I know we did.
At least you ever knew.
I honestly don't remember why you needed to speak to him either. All I know is that you told me that you wanted to speak to him, so...
Well, we do also have somebody else to meet here, but it's definitely not the Elder.
And it's also not evening
I
yet.
think. Yeah.
As you approach the large sort of town, it's more of a townhouse than a manor house, but it's definitely old. The construction is antique in nature. It's all stone and mossy roof tiles and all of that sort of thing. The building is definitely older than every other building in the town.
Impressive.
In front, at the door, stands a tall, blonde-haired man with a very large axe. He stands perfectly still, like a statue.
Is he alright? Hey.
As...
Oops, alone. Oh, nothing. Just me.
As the guard approaches and stands in front of the man, he says, Your Honor, this party of... And he's unsure as to how to describe you, so he simply
Wanderers is the word you're looking for.
This party of wanderers have taken care of the bandit problem that's been plaguing the southern road. But there are a lot of corpses. At this, the town headsman sort of raises an eyebrow and goes, "This party? This group of mismatched people? How is it that they managed to take care of the problem when your trained soldiers couldn't?"
Look.
The
Environmental advantage?
Being fair, we
The-
did use the stairs as a pretty much of an offensive weapon.
The town guard sort of, at hearing all of these random sentences from you, sort of just shuffles about and then walks away in embarrassment.
Oh dear, I'm so sorry.
There's always tomorrow, buddy.
I hope not.
Or the gladiator pits.
Uh,
Hey, Master, how's it going? And welcome to the channel.
points at Gilk after the screaming about fight pits. Actually, this might be a considerable part of the explanation.
The town headsman sort of turns to you all and goes, "Well, I must thank you for your service to the community. It is rare to see adventurers like yourselves in these parts. What can I do for you today?"
We did want to speak to you about something.
You're the only one who's going to remember that, Ingvar. I've been asleep for the last 2 days, by the sound of it. Still piecing that one together.
I was hoping Gilg might know.
No, I was gonna ask for more bandit activity. We are on the look for those. What were your guys's? What was we have to see the witch in the mountain?
Oh, we're just doing general question time. Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought you had like a whole plot line going on there.
No, my voice is just raspy from being sick earlier.
Ah, right. So current head count is points to Darren. Any information about alchemy, transmutation, and dragons? I want to say. Points to Ingvar. We're chasing down an orb that explodes. I seem to recall.
Yeah.
Last seen moving up this sort of way. Myself trying to find. Apparently, there's a witch somewhere in the northern mountains. Has a deal with the banshee. I'm trying to work out. And bandit activity. Pointing finally at Gilk. Not that he is the bandit activity, he's the solution to the bandit activity.
The headsman sort of scratches his beard and
It's a bit
shifts-
mismatched, as you said.
and shifts the axe that he's leaning on to the other arm and goes, "Well, I don't know much about alchemy, and as for an exploding orb, that's hardly my area of expertise. I have heard of a witch who lives up near North Cragstead.
Do you mind if I
that
start
was
writing
a-
this bit down?
Of course. Yes, a witch near North Cragstead, but that was decades ago. Nobody's seen or heard of her since. And bandits.
Besides the ones that were running an inn.
Speaking of,
I've-
we'll take any reward money that you had for those.
I've heard of...
I was just hoping for claws as a reward. I can't feel my toes anymore.
In...
Sandals was probably not the best choice.
Up
Nice.
north, there is a pass. The pass has been beleaguered with bandit activity for the better part of 4 or 5 months now. The pass is a direct trading route to the city of Hammerfell, dwarven city of Hammerfell. It's very important trading route, but we haven't been able to get any convoys through in quite a while. The pass is called, and the headsman scratches his head as he tries to remember, and as I check my notes. Daggerfall Pass, but be wary. Bandits are hardly the only danger for that area of the mountains. Ice storms and avalanches are a feature, as it were. As for this other banditry activity, I'm sure you can be heavily compensated or lightly compensated, depending on which of these bandits and their groups you manage to take out.
What about the group we just took out? The one with the giant.
The one
He
with
was
the
hardly a
giant.
giant. That was more of a half giant at best.
Still
He
trying to
did
build
get a lot bigger though.
He did.
The headsman scratches his chin and goes, half giant, you say?
Big red guy.
The
Was
boiler
he,
pot. Yes.
Yeah.
Also, a very old man with a disturbing amount of knives.
The headsman sort of takes stock of your party and then goes, we could probably award you splitting it with your entire group. Would probably be around 3 gold each.
3 gold each, you say?
It's very generous, my friend.
In this economy, it really rather is.
More than I expected.
Seems perfectly fine to me.
I was happy just to wake up the next morning.
I was happy to wake up in one piece.
True. And Darren, I missed that bit, but I suppose you were just happy to wake up at all, even if it was in the basement.
Give or take. Not my best wake up, I will admit.
The town
Nudge his
headsman
guilt.
sort of...
The giant did miss Darren, didn't he?
Barely.
Okay, just checking.
I did have to climb over a cheek, yes.
Oh, my
Oh my.
condolences.
The town headman sort of waves his hand and says, 3 gold each. It is more than a fair price for an endeavor like that. And we can probably find your frigid friend here some more customary clothing for these parts.
That would be
And,
appreciated.
he waves at
Thank you.
Ingvar.
Thank you, sir.
If you're pointing in the way of the nearest clothier, then could I also get some directions myself? I seem to have landed in some unfortunate circumstances. Still attempting to brush himself down.
The headsman sort of leans towards you and then leans away.
Yeah,
all
I
of a
wouldn't do
sudden
that.
and Goes,
I really
I
wouldn't
think,
do
my
that. I got
friend-
catapulted out of a book.
you need a bath first. The minimum.
Perhaps head to the clothier and then head to the bathhouses.
That was the idea. Place an order and then move on.
The headsman sort of points downtown in the direction of a rather large building at sort of the far end of town, with lower arches and a staircase leading up to a large deck, and says, there is a place that sells furs and a variety of other items of clothing down at the other end of town near the gate. The proprietor is a nasty little fellow, but he does good work.
Oh, I'm sure with enough gold they'd be willing to help.
And the headsman sort of nods and says, if you are looking for any other information, I am sure that our local librarian will be happy to help you. In the meantime, do feel free to enjoy your stay in Dre. And please try not to cause any trouble.
Turns and pointedly says to Gilk, "It's Dre."
And the headsman sort of
Face palms when he
continues
says,
to
"Huh."
stand.
Thank you very much for your time. Didn't manage to catch your name.
I am Headsman Aldrich.
Headsman Aldrich.
Yes, I am the last of my line. Exactly.
I'm sorry to hear that, but thank you very much for your time and your help.
Yes, thank you very much, sir.
The headsman sort of waves you off.
I'm wondering why he's got a sonic ring on the roof.
Hmm?
Oh, that's one of the tenor symbols.
It's an Easter egg. Bonus points if you can get it.
The ring is a symbol of the goddess Tenor.
This looks like a
So
bloody sonic
what's
ring
the
to me.
symbol for the goddess Fiver?
Oh, fuck.
It's the same, but it's been like unhooked and bent into a different shape.
Ah, of course.
It's the same, but if you drop a coin in it, it does a nasty little jig.
Okay then.
All right.
Anyway.
Clothier.
Yes. So the clothier's shop is basically right next to where Ed is standing.
Yep,
just up
because it's
those
exactly the
stairs.
building you described.
I'm just trying to
Yep,
find
that's
the
where we
front
saw
door.
the little guy.
Yeah,
Where's
wasn't
the
this
library?
where?
That is in
So,
fact the place with the weird guy who wanted to see us at sundown. Yes.
Yeah.
We shall pay no
library-
attention to the tent to our right.
As you walk past the tent to your right. No, I'm not gonna put you through that horrible time again. As tempting as it might be. Hold on, I need to pull out a miniature. Where are you?
Summon library.
So the library is not so much a library as a small hut. It is just on the other side of the square. The building that looks like it was designed to be put on a corner, but then no other corner buildings were put next to it.
Aww.
So yeah, that is where the library is.
Am I looking?
So northwest of the fountain, yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, right.
My map have a giant hole in the middle.
Doesn't every map?
Oh, you probably got the
right,
cutout feature.
Oh, press N.
Press N.
Oh, there we go.
Right. Who wants to go first then? Clothier or books?
Well, we found Clothier. I was going to see if they're around this sort of area. There might be an ablutions place. Because I stink to high heaven. And again, turns his eyes up to the heavens. No offense.
Anyway,
Well, while you guys sort that out, I'll look at Isaac. Order us a couple of cloaks for the long road. I'm gonna go take care of the mule.
We have a mule?
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Gilk decided to bring the mule with us when we left the inn.
I didn't realize there even was one to start with. Nice.
Well, we
Bring
kind of
mule. Score.
So yeah, I will spend their shopping time making sure the mule's taken care of. And brushed and all that.
Play little Pokemon mini games with it.
Igor just looks at Isaac and is quite glad he has very little sense of smell anymore.
So, We managed to find one place. That's nice. Darren seems to have vanished. I'm guessing he's gone to the library. Anywhere around here that looks like a place, Now, this is going to be more of a world question, Lucian. Is this more a bathhouse kind of arrangement, or is it like indoor plumbing kind of arrangement? Different people run fantasies different ways.
So in
Is
this
an inn likely to be
situation,
where it would have a bath, or what, basically?
an inn is likely to have a wooden tub that can have water buckets poured into it.
Ah, Witcher
basically.
style. Gotcha.
Yes. There are certain places that do bathhouses, but they're further down south, and usually open air. Up in the north, people prefer closed-in baths, basically.
Oh,
that
I'm
aren't
catching up.
freezing
That's
cold.
fine.
So yeah.
Witcher style's fine. In which case, any of these places look like an inn to you?
There
Well.
was. Where was it?
Looks around for any signs like Bannered Mare or anything like that.
Okay, so there is a sign for an inn at the sort of central plaza, and in fact there are signs for several inns. There seem to be at least 3 in the town.
Was the one we stayed at the one next to the clothes shop?
No.
I don't remember. No.
There is one next to the clothes shop. There's also a drinking hall opposite the clothes shop, and then there's
That's where I
2
stayed last
inns that are sort of opposite each other. The inns seem to be the 3 largest buildings in the town.
Yeah, I think we were at the middle one then.
Yes, you were.
Yay!
I love how you're just letting Isaac ask all these questions when you've already been to an inn here.
Well, I was trying to remember.
I just canonize this as Ingvar just trolling.
Me and our dwarven friend Darren stayed at the inn, and from their point of view, it's like northeast.
This way?
The one across the road from that one.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
He
Just
giggles
floats
at-
over by it.
I'm just using myself as a mouse pointer.
I do believe
you
they
can
had
use-
that.
M for,
Yeah, it's fun. It's more fun this way. Besides, as already discovered, we can have conflicting pointers. Great, I have a force shield. So, right. In which case, would you be alright to do the furs shopping that Gilk was asking about? And also, would you be able to throw me in a couple at all?
Yeah,
If that's alright by you?
Yeah,
I'll
that's
give...
absolutely fine.
hang on a minute. What was it we were going to get? Was 3-4 gold each? So,
3.
hands over 4 gold to Ingvar. Just in case.
Hey, Blitzcod, how's it going?
And I'm going to go and find some hot water.
Fair enough. I do believe that inn did have a bath. We just kind of passed out first, though.
It's a pretty common thing in the northern parts. If you're looking for bathhouses, you've got to go more south. I'm not sure where the entrance to said inn is, but I'm just going to give Lucian the reins of I park myself in front of the inn's entrance and
The
then
one that
flash
they
to someone
visited
else.
first.
It's like on
Where-
the other side. It's
Where's your military? Oh, there it is.
Oh, it's over there. Okay, round the side, right.
Oh,
Around the other side. Oh, okay.
There was an entrance here. I was right.
Right. In the meantime, we
Yep.
shall skip to Darren, who is currently looking through the doors, the dingy doors.
He's looking at the fountain. Now he's looking through the doors.
Of the Dre Library, which is not particularly well maintained by the look of it. It looks like one of the smaller buildings in town. It doesn't look particularly filled with knowledge. The doors are slightly ajar and don't seem to close properly.
It is, however, very cute.
It's, yeah, I guess you could say it's cute.
It's cozy.
It's just it being a little corner building with no corner is just adorable.
Yeah, Darren, what?
As Lucian quickly adds in, various miniatures.
As I add
the
in
inside of it.
lights. As I add in lights. That is all I am adding to this.
Well, that's what the banter's for. We buy him the time.
Yeah, you buy me time to add lights to this place.
Light and snow on the ground. I saw the snow earlier too.
Oh,
Yeah,
I thought I was just
magically
glitching out.
appear.
No, yeah, that was me. That was me.
Hey, it's still more preferable than trying to get lighting working in fucking Roll20.
That's fair, honestly. At least with this, I can just go, lights!
Oh.
Right. Yes. Darren, what are you doing? Fine?
Oh, right, I was muted. I may have been talking for some minutes.
Then you know what you're already going to say.
Yes. I guess I'll knock before I enter. Seems like the appropriate thing to do. I'm not trying to backstab somebody.
Yeah,
Yes.
you knock on the doors and one of them just sort of swings open. The hinges seem remarkably well oiled for a building this decrepit. Inside is what seems to be a gnome of some sort in a very, very brightly colored hat who is busy trying to do some work on a desk that seems much too high for them.
They have like a stool?
No, they are literally just trying to work on a desk that is much too high for them.
I see, literally. Okay. Hello? Excuse me.
And as you enter the building and announce yourself, the gnome sort of turns around and goes, hello? Who's there? If you are looking for the Traders Union, it is not here. It is 2 doors down and past the horse cart. Or was
no.
it the-
No, I'm not looking for the Union, although that might be a place for me to stop later. I was informed that this would be the foremost repository in the town. Is that correct?
Repository? If you are looking for the young lady who grows those lovely, lovely flowers that she can turn into those powders, that's the other way.
No, I'm looking for the foremost repository of knowledge. Would that be here?
Knowledge. Oh, you mean you're looking for the bookstore? Yes, this is the bookstore. How can I help you, young man?
Right.
You are young, aren't you? My vision's a little blurry these days, ever since someone broke my glasses.
Well, depends who you ask. I'm interested in any books you may have about certain arcane practices.
Arcane practices? No, I'm afraid we don't have any arcane practices here. You might want to try the Sorcerer over on Dreary Lane.
Sorry, do they
Druid
make Muffin
Lane?
Men?
Okay, do you
Muffin Man?
and do you know anything about alchemy, possibly?
Alchemy? Oh! Alchemy, your best bet is to talk to old Jeremiah, just down on the corner.
Is that not here?
No.
The other corner.
No, Jeremiah, what's his name? Moran. There we go. Yes, Jeremiah Moran is all sorts of alchemy stuff. He does a bunch of stuff with that sort of thing.
Okay, well, just before I go see Mr. Jeremiah Moran, what sort of information do you have here?
Well, we have books on planting and seeding and animal husbandry and animal other things, and a lot of books on diseases. It's mostly farming material, I'm afraid.
Okay. Well, I guess one last question. Do you know anything about dragons?
Dragons? Oh,
Local
you
area
wouldn't
dragons, history dragons, that sort of thing.
You wouldn't catch me going anywhere near dragons. No, no, no. I'd rather not get eaten. Thank you very much.
Well, the best my understanding of it is the best way to not get eaten by a dragon is to know where they are.
I wouldn't want to go looking for that sort of information.
Are there any stories of dragons? Nothing.
Well, not that I can. Well, there are some stories of dragons, but they're not particularly. Well, they're very old stories, very very old stories, as a matter of fact. I can probably find a volume on the creation of the first dragons, but it's probably. I'm not sure that it'll be intact. It's so old. And he starts rummaging through one of the shelves.
Well, I'll close the door since there's an awful chill.
The door doesn't really close properly.
I will close it as much as it can be.
There always seems to be a gap between the double doors of the building.
God, if only we invented diagonal door technology, that'd be perfect right now.
It would be very nice
well.
to have in this game, but sadly no.
Maybe that's something I can research later.
As the old sort of gnome rummages through one of the lower shelves of the bookstore, you look around and spy a couple of older-looking volumes on different shelves. Some with battered and destroyed, dirtied covers. Some with relatively clean, sparkling lettering. One volume in particular catches your eye, which has silver lettering on the spine and is it's enveloped in a deep red leather covering. Would you like to pick it up?
Well, we have had some bad experiences with books recently, but I think I'll give it a shot.
Okay, roll me a d20.
Am I stealing it? Or is it just that heavy?
No, this is for something else.
Okay... Do I need to check for traps?
In
What
a
are
bookstore?
you doing?
Well,
what are you
maybe.
about to do to me?
Don't worry about it.
I'm
Think
gonna
of this
worry
as a
about it.
luck roll.
As a bonus action, I worry about it.
Think of this as a luck roll.
That's
basically.
a reaction.
10.
10. Right.
Hey, your luck is 50-50. Lucian
Your
gets
luck
to
is
flip a coin.
indeed 50-50.
My luck is not. My luck is like on a good day, maybe 50-50.
The book, as you pick it up, is relatively heavy, and it looks very fancy. But the fancy look of the book somewhat is undermined by its title.
Oh boy.
Which is simply states the general tinctures, diseases, and cures for cowpox.
Right. I'll look through the pages while I'm waiting for the gnome to find something then.
The
As well.
pages are sort of.
Please tell me the pages aren't stuck together.
The pages are not stuck together, no.
Thank God for that.
The pages are relatively thick sheets of parchment, with very sort of elegant writing. It seems like this has been a journal of someone's. some farmer who had extraordinarily good calligraphy. But it boils down to the various ways to treat maladies for cattle, basically.
Right. I'm just gonna put this back then, I think.
As you put the book back, the gnome lets out a triumphant "aha!" And pulls a dusty tome from the lowest shelf. The tome, in fact, is so old and worn that it seems to be falling apart at the seams, to the point where several sheets of paper just sort of scatter about when the gnome picks them up. Picks up the book. But he nonetheless leafs through some more of the pages and goes, aha! Yes, here we go. I have it. I have the. Well, this isn't as helpful as I was hoping. He shows you a page of the book, which is unfortunately somewhat eaten away. Something has munched through that part of the book, possibly a rat or a mouse. Whatever was there, or at least most of what was there, is basically gone at this point. However, there is a small passage, sort of the first section of the page, the top of it, is still there. As you read through it, you find an interesting a passage that takes your interest, and it says this: "It is said among scholars that the first great dragons, the generals of Manure's hellish army, were summoned by the god of war at the dawn of the new world. The truth is far darker. The 4 great dragons that became Manure's generals were not, in fact," and then it cuts off. However, there is a small shard of text that you can see, which states, "The ugliest of the gods' emotions, envy, greed, wrath, and pride."
Genuinely thought it was going to have a passage about the ugliest dragon there.
Yeah, that was my fault for a moment.
And that is all you can see. The rest of the page is withered away, eaten at. It is possible that there is another copy of this book somewhere else, but it would not be in this bookshop.
Right, I will jot down the name of the book for later then.
The name of the book is Ancient Dragons and Myths.
Simple enough.
Or at least that's the rough translation that you can get.
Right.
It may be that it's more akin to myths of dragons or myths of ancient dragons, but the translation is very rough, basically.
Okay, well, thank you very much for your incomparable assistance, and I shall leave you to your work. Would you maybe benefit from a stool? That particular desk doesn't seem particularly suited to your needs.
The gnome sort of squints at you and goes, "What do you mean? Are you calling me short?"
I'm not
Never
exactly.
call a gnome short.
I'm
Calling
not
the
exactly
desk
towering
tall.
in stature myself, so.
The gnome sort of squints at you and goes,
And many things around here are built for people much larger than either of us.
The gnome sort of squints at you again, and then sighs and goes, Someone stole my stool the other day.
Aw.
And then sort of turns back to his work and goes, if you see that bastard Limor anywhere, punch him in the face for me, would you?
I shall do that on my honor as a dwarf.
And who knows
more
what
you
that's
said?
worth.
Understood.
Yeah.
If I happen to see any stool, I'll see if I can get one your way as well. Until then.
There's plenty of stool. I was catapulted into a bunch of it.
More structurally integral, maybe.
I mean, it is cold out.
Yeah,
I shall
Cold
make-
can warm, Saren.
I'll make myself over towards the Clovia then, where I believe everyone else is.
Well,
This is
Igvar's
like-
just there at the minute.
Yes, Ingvar. In the meantime, while all of that has been happening, you have entered the domain, shall we say, of an irate-looking goblin.
Oh, God.
Who is dressed in magnificent purple robes and carries a very long wooden measuring staff.
So glad I didn't come in here.
Ah, you again.
And the goblin looks particularly irritated at your appearance. And goes, "Oh, what are you wearing? This is a travesty. I mean, I know it's the frozen north, but sandals? Really? This is awful." And he's sort of running around you, taking measurements of your sort of, well, taking measurements of everything, really.
Measurements of your measurements.
Well, to be fair, sir, when I left home, I wasn't expecting to travel so far north.
Well, still, this is absolutely terrible. You really should have come to see me sooner. I did try to warn you, but oh, you're going to freeze to death like this.
Well, when your house burns down, you don't have much choice of what you can salvage.
Well, still, you should have gone to a tailor's the moment that you had the ability to. This is a disaster. And he turns to a rack of of cloths and furs that's behind him.
Well, I'm here to remedy that now. It's just one of those days, apparently.
Yeah. Would there
As
happen to
you-
be a stool in here?
Ingvar's cat, man.
There are
Wasn't that be
a
Isaac
variety
though?
of chairs,
No stool.
but there is no stools.
Understood.
But yeah.
I don't suppose I passed a sign saying what this guy's name is.
There was a sign outside that stated it as Derova Clothiers.
Okay. Not Limur then.
This guy is obviously Derova. So there you go. Right.
I love that he works in a carpet warehouse.
Well, unfortunately, I couldn't find anything more that was sort of.
No, that's one of the
racks of
charming things about
clothing.
TaleSpire, though, is what you can make out of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're displays of fabric available for various clothing articles.
Exactly.
Presumably.
Yeah.
Anyway.
In the meantime, what are you doing, Gil?
I guess having made sure that the mule was taken care of, I would have made my way over to the clothier as well.
Mm-hmm.
I half expected you to go back to the bar.
Wanted to make sure that, they get the extra large
Oh, yeah.
cloak.
It's important to get XXL cloak.
The biggest of clothes.
Yes, it doubles as a blanket that way.
You got to have it to go over the shield. Keep the shield warm.
Oh, that's just gonna create a valley of like where all the rainwater's gonna go, though.
Don't tell him that though.
Oi,
I'm sure I can water.
I got locked out. Lucian placed the door right in front of me. I'm
Sorry,
gonna
no.
break it.
No shirt, no shoes, no service.
I've got sandals. Does
I
that
am
count?
probably the best dressed out of all of you for this weather.
Only because you look like an extra out of a Jack Black video game.
Oi, I designed this character, you bastard.
I'm trying to think what fucking Jack Black video game now.
That was a video game.
Oh yeah, Jack Black's been in a couple.
Oh.
Especially, what was it? Oh, someone help me with this. Heavy Metal?
Yep,
Twisted, no.
it's something
Brutal
like
Legend.
that.
Brutal Legend,
that's
that's
the
it.
one, yes.
Not Twisted Metal, that's a completely different game. Although that would be terrifying.
Yes, Eddie Riggs in Brutal Legend. Is
Fair
the one I'm thinking of. I may be dating myself somewhat, because that was made for the Xbox 360, but still.
It's old gamer knowledge. Anyways, yeah, you look like you're a well-dressed chappie from that. The big beard helps.
And the axe.
And the hat. And
Less so
shield.
the hat. The hat is more piratical.
Yeah, it could
No,
be
it's
like
a cowboy hat.
country rock.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Sorry, yes, it's a cowboy hat, but with the sides weirdly pinched up, isn't it?
Well, they
Both
do
sides.
that occasionally.
Ah. Fair.
It's a cowboy hat posing as a pirate hat.
It's a cowboy hat that hasn't
ranchers did that
decided
a
on
lot.
its life path yet.
Exactly.
Also, are we doing the goblin's job for him at this point? We're kind of just
No,
critiquing
I've just been
Guild
kind of
Clash.
waiting for you guys to finish chattering about this stuff.
Okay,
Um,
okay.
we're
As
just
the
riffing.
goblin turns back around, he notices that Darren and Gilt have also arrived. And he goes, wonderful, wonderful. Well, anyway, I will be with you in a moment. I just need to finish dressing this young man. He is very underdressed for this kind of weather. And he pulls out a pair of very large, very furry-looking pantaloons.
God bless pantaloons.
Yeah. He pulls out a very, very large, very furry-looking pair of pantaloons and proceeds to sort of, not exactly show them to you, but more like wave them at you, and says, "Try these on. These should do, at least for this weather for now."
Okay, thank you. He reaches to take the pantaloons and just kind of pulls them up to look at them for a moment.
The pantaloons are relatively long, flared at the bottom, and basically completely furry on the inside, and a bright, vibrant orange on the outside.
No offense, sir, but these are a little bit bright.
Bright? They're fashionable. I don't know what you're on about.
They're orange.
The goblin turns to look at you and goes, "Orange is in these days, don't you know?"
Sir, I'm a former coal miner. We lived in greys and dark greens.
Oh, the monochromatic life you lead.
let's
Fine, give them here.
Let's make this a little easier. Give him something that will hide the blood splatter.
The goblin sort of, cranes his neck to look up at you and goes, and sort of pulls his measuring rod out, and sort of pokes you in the nose with it and goes, "You wait your turn." And he is going to very quickly.
I mean, you had the right idea of insulated.
Roll intimidation.
That one.
He is going to roll a nat 1 on intimidation. Yes.
Oh dear.
Oh, I thought you wanted me to roll intimidation.
No. He's rolling intimidation on you.
Oh, okay.
That is as bad as it literally could ever have gone. Wow.
Yes, it is. So yeah, he rolled a nat 1 on trying to intimidate you.
Oh no.
I just
He's going
with,
to die.
with his measuring stick just like firmly pressed against my nose, I just lean further in.
You
Pushing
lean
it
forward
back.
and the stick breaks.
You lean forward and the stick kind of bends in a sort of a U shape until eventually it sort of flicks up and out of your face, and the goblin goes, fine. Monochromatic it is. What would you prefer? Black, grey, forest green at least?
Excuse me. I mean, you had the right sort of idea with the pantaloons. I could go for forest green. That would be no problem.
Forest green it shall be. At least a little bit of colour to bring out that. Well, anyway.
The grey.
And he turns back around and pulls out a pair of slightly thinner-looking forest green pantaloons that have sort of more of a wool/fleece style of interior to them, but they still look incredibly warm.
Mm.
And as he does this, he's sort of muttering to himself and going, "No one appreciates my sense of style. I should have moved to the big city, not this backwater town." He's just muttering to himself at this point.
They look very nice. These pants, very my sort of style. Good eye.
The goblin sort of just waves you off and continues looking through the shelves until he then proceeds to pull out a vibrantly lime green shirt.
Oh god. Igval kind of looks at the shirt and then just goes, "Well, at least I could button up the jacket."
And then the goblin looks at the shirt and looks at your pantaloons and goes, "Absolutely not," and stuffs the shirt back into the wardrobe. I think this goes on for a couple of minutes, maybe about 10 to 15 minutes, before eventually the goblin seems to settle on the forest green pantaloons, a very nice looking burgundy jumper, and a sort of heavy looking black jacket that sort of comes to your waist. And then he also pulls out a small rotund-looking device from his belt and proceeds to sort of mark out a couple of measurements on the clothing and says, "I should have this ready for you within a few hours. It's only a few small adjustments, but none of this is ready to wear. Ready-to-wear couture is a detriment to fashion, And he sort of puts all of these bits and pieces on the table and shuffles along to Darren. Goes, now for you, young man. What can I do for you?
I think I'm good. Actually, I don't think I'll be buying anything today.
The goblin sort of looks at you and goes, but you're wearing plate mail in this kind of weather. You're going to freeze to death. At least you could use a little bit of fur on the inner trimmings.
Well, there's a bearskin rug right here, so there's bears here, right? Like just in the wilds. I'm sure I can find one myself.
The goblin seems very insistent at this point and goes, but if skinning a bear is much harder than it looks. I could just add a little bit of fur underneath all of that cold steel, and you can be warm for the rest of your journey, however long it is.
What's your price?
The goblin sort of holds in glee. And goes, nothing too expensive. A trifle, really. 5 silver for the whole thing.
Right. Your name wouldn't happen to be Lemure, would it?
No, I'm Derova.
Okay, right. Do you know where? Do you happen to know where Lemure works?
My brother, well, let me see. He's usually, he sort of pulls out a pocket watch from his belt and goes,
Pulls out
my
a Nokia.
brother would,
Just pulls out his Nokia and texts.
he checks the pocket watch and he goes, at this point, my brother would probably be down by the docks. I would expect, more than likely.
Oh, it's okay, I see. Right.
Now, if we can if you could just hand over those pieces of armor, and I'll get that all furred up, and you'll be warmer than a kitten in spring.
I don't suppose you happen to have anywhere more discreet that I might be able to do that?
The the goblin sort of gestures to a set of curtains to one side of the room. It seemed to be a sort of changing room.
Right. Well, I will go over there and begin taking off my armor. I will leave discreetly and subtly on the chair outside.
Mm-hmm.
In the meantime, Igvar's just wondering what happened to getting shoes.
Getting what?
Shoes.
Shoes.
Oh, shoes.
For the feet.
You probably wouldn't find shoes at a tailor's shop.
Oh, true. Well, while Darwin's taking his armor off, Igvar then turns to the goblin and goes, Excuse me, good sir, can you at least point me towards the nearest shoe shop? Cobblers?
Yep, cobblers.
The goblin sort of squints at you for a moment and goes, oh yes, those sandals won't do, will they? And then he goes, downstairs, my cousin has a small shoemaking setup. It's not much, but there's a few pairs of boots that'll probably fit you.
Well, I'll probably only need one, because I only have one human foot, but sure.
Sorry?
Has nobody looked at Igvar's feet?
No.
No.
How many people in your life do you greet while looking at their feet?
That's true.
Well, considering I work at the airport, pretty much everyone.
Okay, you're the exception. Though.
Yeah, you're the exception and a terrible sign of our times.
But yeah, Igvar's only got one human foot and one prosthetic left leg.
Ah,
Probably still gonna need a shoe for it.
Oh,
yeah.
true.
Wear and tear.
More like a cap for the end rather than a shoe necessarily.
Yeah, a steel toe, if you will.
Yeah,
That'd be
one
great.
singular toe.
Well, thank you, sir. So how much do I owe you?
The goblin sort of looks at the pile of clothing behind him and goes, just a trifle, really. About a gold, 7 silver for the whole ensemble.
Yeah, that sounds pretty fair to me. While I'm here, though, he remembers Isaac's request of, do you have furs by any chance? One of my friends who's currently
The gnome sort of squints at
The
you
gnome?
in
Still a
mild
gnome again.
goblin.
Still a
Sorry.
goblin.
The goblin sort of
The
squints at you
changeling.
in disbelief and
there's
then
so
gestures
much
to
I
the
can learn
wall
from him.
behind him that is literally covered from top to bottom in furs.
fair point.
But are they going to stay furs? Is the next question.
No, they're suddenly going
Well,
to turn into silks.
They're going to become
they're wolf
gnomes.
furs right now. In a few minutes, they'll be rabbit furs.
It's just a wall of hanging gnomes behind him now.
Or do
the
they-
entire
or do they
entire
change with
town
the season?
is actually gnomes. It's gnomes
Does the
all the way
material
down.
change with the season and the temperature? That'd be awesome.
You thought it was a mimic. It was actually a gnome.
Yeah, gnome colony.
I get it, okay?
Do you? Do you really?
Yes,
No.
I get
Or
it.
is it
He's
a
a
gnome?
goblin, not a gnome.
I hope
The
he's
gnomes
getting
in
it.
the
We're
bookshop.
giving him plenty of stick.
But yes,
Oh, we know what. We know what this episode's going to be called.
Gnomes all the way
Bird,
down.
it's a plane. It's a gnome. Wait.
Well, actually,
But
this
yes.
episode is called Mule Manure, among other things.
Oh, that's
yeah, that
It's
thing's
called
being
Who
magical.
Gnomes.
Magical. Yeah,
Or
but
I don't
Ingvar-
know.
Oh, God. But yes, Ingvar's like, yes, I also, pardon me, need a couple of furs for a friend of mine who's currently having to deal with falling in a rather unpleasant pile of,
Shit.
yes.
You hear from the
bloody-
back corner of the shop.
Yeah.
The goblin sort of gestures to the furs and goes, "Take a selection, and once you've chosen, I'll calculate how much that'll be."
Right. So Ingvar just scoots over next to Gilg.
Yo kind of
Finally-
holds one up that's about his size and just kind of like loosely tries it on. Like he finds like a cloak with hood,
Oh,
In
okay, full Game
the
of
dark-
Thrones.
darker color. Yeah, full Game of Thrones.
There are a couple of like cloaks with like fur pauldrons and hoods. There's a couple of cloaks that are literally just fully made of fur.
Are there
but
any
look
boots
like...
with the fur?
Hmm?
Are there any boots with the fur?
There are no boots in this shop.
No.
We've already established that.
Yeah.
There are
Good attempt.
a couple of cloaks that look like they're very high-end quality fur, but also look like they would get shredded in too much like heavy weather.
Coming from a mountain village, Gil kind of knows what he's looking for. He does find like the sturdier, not necessarily pretty, but
There
know,
is okay, roll me I really need a luck roll for this sort of thing. Roll me
D100 and choose a
investigation.
percentage.
Hmm?
D100 and choose a percentage.
I don't have a D100.
it's
Oh.
a 10. Yeah,
They
you do.
exist. They exist
Here,
in the game.
Here's your D100. Wait,
Oh god, how do I do?
escape.
Oh, yes, sorry. When I think of a D100, I think of the big round dice.
Here's your D100.
Okay, that's fine. That'll do for a luck roll. Okay. As you look around, something catches your eye. Not necessarily from the build quality of this cloak, but more from the fact that it has a small sort of iron buckle on the sort of the clasp, and the buckle has a design on it in sort of black and silver. of what looks like a two-handed, double-bladed axe. The cloak itself has fur sort of on the shoulders, and the actual hood of the cloak seems to be lined in fur. The full like cape section of the cloak itself is more of a light canvas type of material. It looks old. In fact, it looks relatively unlike anything else in the shop. And it seems to be... It seems to be not necessarily something that the goblin would usually sell, basically.
Does the emblem remind Gilk of anything?
The emblem... It's not so much the emblem as the whole design, the black and red, the style of the cloak itself. Roll me investigation.
No.
Nope.
When you look at the cloak, it seems to stir a faint memory, but you can't really place anything from it.
I'll ask the goblin about it. Tell me more about this one.
As you hold up the cloak, the goblin stares at it for a moment and goes, "You know, I don't remember. It's been in the shop for a very long time. I traded it when I was first starting out. I traded it with a man. I don't remember his name though. It was decades ago. But it. No, it's gone. I'm sorry. It's been in the shop so long. I can probably give you a discount on it."
Very well, I'll take it.
The goblin goes, 3 silver and 5 copper.
3 silver.
And goblin squints at you and goes, "Very well, 3 silver." And he sort of holds out his hand.
I give him the 3 silver.
Yep. You have acquired an elder's cloak.
Sweet.
In the meantime, Igvar's just taken out a couple of decent quality furs.
You see a couple of sort of standard-looking furs. Most of them come in greys or whites. There are a couple in black. There is one that catches your eye, however, which is in a very oddly vibrant pink. It is the only one on the wall that is in pink, but it is pink.
Why is there... Igvar just feels very, very confused as to why there's a bright pink. He turns to the goblin and asks, "Why the bright pink cloak?" You know.
The goblin sort of turns to look at you and goes, "Oh, that! That was one of my, that was from my younger days. A very experimental time, you know. What I did, and he goes off on a ramble for about, 5 minutes. But what you generally manage to get the gist of is the cloak is technically enchanted, but some of the enchantment backfired, and it turned it bright pink in the process. He doesn't actually tell you what the enchantment is.
I'm just going to leave that one well alone. I don't want a dodgy fur, bright pink fur. Magic is not my sort of thing I like to dabble in, so...
The goblin sort of squints at you and goes, Well, understandable. Magic is dwindling these days. And he sort of turns back to his accounting book. After a minute or two, he notices Darren's armor on the chair, picks it up, and disappears into a workroom, pulling a bunch of furs with him.
If he's having trouble with his accounting, he should probably look into finding a math magician.
God damn it.
It was only a matter of time.
Pretty sure there was an old children's TV show about trying to become the math magician. Very distant memories of some random people on a ship.
With my padded armor off, how, like, insulated am I right now?
So let's see.
Well, it's only the metal bits of your padded armor that have come
Well, I can't
off.
exactly yank them off.
I'm guessing it's modular.
No,
So
that's not how
the-
armor works.
The pauldrons are metal, and parts of the jerkin are also metal, as well as the greaves. Those 4 pieces have basically been taken off.
Yeah.
Essentially, what you're left with is a medium to light shirt, a pair of trousers, and a pair of relatively heavy boots.
Right.
As well as whatever other stuff you were wearing. So
Right.
basically, you've lost the armor section of your armor. You're not completely naked.
Well,
Almost
that's
like it's modular.
small
What?
things there. I'm just gonna stay in the changing room till he's done.
It
Fair enough.
takes it takes the goblin about half an hour to get all of this sorted. In the meantime, Ed, how is your bath faring in the inn that I haven't had time to decorate?
Don't worry. I think you and I are on a kind of a wavelength here. As between, there's already a lot of shopping going on that way, and also I got a session entirely to myself earlier. I'm fully happy to do a Cliff Notes version of this.
Fair enough.
So goes in, orders bath. How much will bath cost potentially?
Bath would probably cost like 4 to 6 silver.
Okay, spends. Oh God, no! I remember. No, don't use the quick spend when it comes to silver.
Yeah, don't use the quick spend. Just
that
put it
starts
in
getting
manually.
Electrum involved.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
thank you. Okay, money adequately spent.
Apparently,
going
I
to-
have Electrum.
I'm going to guess it's not the greatest experience trying to get all of this stuff uncaked, but it'll come off eventually.
It'll come off eventually. When you entered the bar, rather, when you entered the inn, the barkeep sort of looked at you and gagged.
In which case, that'll be a shrug and, I know, I got kicked.
And sort of pulls one of the barmaids aside and goes, "Run this man a bath quickly, please. He's
Thank
stinking
you.
up everything." And yeah, the bar. The
Believe
bath
me, I want
takes,
this
like-
as little as you do too. Also, do you have any form of, and like, does the mime of like the sort of, I can't remember. I honestly, genuinely, to the life of me, don't know what it's called. But the thing that you would like sort of stretch washing over to then scrub it, old school style, like it's a.
fuck.
Oh, Wrangler?
No,
No,
there
that's
is-
that's more like a
Was a-
mangle when you're trying to dry it.
Wash rack?
Yeah, let's go with wash rack.
Yeah, wash rack. Why not?
And just sort of mumbles like wash rack because this stuff as well, and like gesticulates to the shirt.
The barmaid sort of nods and
I'm happy to do it myself. I don't want to put you people through this, but
sort of says, "Oh, we can do that for you. We can do that."
Oh, it's actually
We
just
can-
called a washing board.
Oh, washing board. Yeah. Oh, there you go.
fair enough.
And sort of says, "Just leave it outside the room, and we'll get that done for you, sir."
That would be a very kind gesture. Thank you very much. Then how much do I owe you? Get his told amount, pays
Yeah.
amount.
Yeah. Yeah, that takes around about 45 minutes to get all of that done.
I will note that he makes sure that the sort of pack of stuff, even though the pack is probably a bit whiffy, the pack stays in the bathroom with him.
Yeah, no, that takes about 45 minutes total.
Yep.
All told, once you are done, you feel clean. Your clothing is mildly damp but washed. And-
That'll chill itself out.
Damp in the cold, though? Ooh, that could be
thought-
bad.
He's literally walking around the corner to a fur shop. He'll be fine.
Okay.
Well, I think we would have
And,
made our way back by now to the inn and just wait
No,
around the dining
you
area,
guys
no?
are still
No,
in
this
the
is happening
fur shop.
simultaneous.
This
I
is
am
happening
requesting to
simultaneously,
meet them
yeah.
at the fur shop if that's possible.
Yep.
Okay.
Head to the fur shop.
Okay, nice.
Leo.
Speed wash.
Speed walk.
And in the meantime, Igvor's
We just
Ain't
shove
got-
Ed into a barrel and it spins.
picked out like 4 decent furs, 2 black, 2 grey.
And
Yeah.
I'm wearing the
The
cloak that
goblin
I've
sort of
found.
The goblin sort of comes out of his workroom, lays
Can I
down.
canon that they're all looking in different directions when I come in, so that I can just check if he can just check if they smell him entering the room before he enters.
I rolled to smell.
I mean, you'd be surprised. One of my other groups has a ranger who is determined.
I
Oh
smell
my
him!
god! All right, yeah, you smell me enter.
I
Then
don't.
again, you were hanging out with the mule, so you're probably quite used to the smell of shit at this point.
Yeah, but I think we're all can. Even
Yeah,
Igvor.
you can all smell the faint whiff of mule manure as
Ah, what smells like wet mule?
That would be me.
um
At least it's wet and a bit less mule rather than dry and very much mule.
Fair enough.
Of course, I
The-
roll a fucking 20 on that one.
as you
Yeah.
walk in,
yes,
the goblin
you do,
sort
because
of
it's every time with you.
the goblin sort of hobbles across the room, puts Darren's armor down on the chair, and turns to you and goes, another customer. What can I do for you?
Well, actually, and I'm going to look over, and I'm assuming he can see that Ingvar's got some furs with him.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, actually, I am here to pick up probably one of those, but I do have a question. The hell is that? Points at the pink one.
The goblin sort of expresses a little bit more delight at having been asked about the pink one again, and
God.
goes, "Oh, that's from my younger days. You know, experimental fashion, if you will. It's absolutely a fantastic piece of work. You know, it's pink. It's pink because I used an enchantment on it, but something went wrong, and it ended up turning the whole thing pink instead."
could
I
be
don't
worse,
know
could
if
be
the
on fire.
enchantment ever worked.
Could be worse. This is probably going to sound unusual, but given it is a defective product, would you be willing to do a discount on that at all?
The goblin seems delighted that you're even interested in buying it at this point. Did he go, yes, of course. I did. It's, yes.
Is there any potential for a small bit of customization?
The goblin sort of squints at you and goes, what would you like?
I'm going to need to double check the name of it. Sorry, Lucian, I don't have it to hand. It's like Demir or something, the nature god.
Oh, yeah, give me a second.
It's not Demeter, but my
Dimani.
brain keeps trying. Dimani, yeah.
Dimani.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Is there any chance at all of a small, tasteful, I don't want to ruin the aesthetic, but a tasteful embroidery up the sort of nape of the neck for the symbol of Damani, possibly in a complementary, I'm thinking maybe a green, forest green?
The goblin sort of takes a moment and then goes, yes, of course. And pulls down the cloak. And then as he's running off to the workshop, you actually roll me perception very quickly.
Yeah.
And now we're rolling for senses. Give me a second. Need to remember what my fucking perception is.
works. Roll a d20.
Plus, yeah, it's a +3, I think. I can never remember. Does Adventurous Codex already take into account? No, it doesn't already take into
No.
account proficiency, does it? Okay.
No.
So that's actually a +5. My bad. 16 plus 5 for a 21 total.
As he walks, as the door to his workshop shuts behind him, you hear a very faint, "It's your funeral."
Oh, what?
Oh dear.
The armor has been left on the chair next to the changing room you're in, Darren. So you have that accessible to you again now. It is now padded with fur as well, and
Or should be like bright orange fur or something.
the fur is not bright orange. It's sort of a grayish black color.
Fair enough.
Your armor now gives you where is it? Your armor now does has +1 to AC, so it now has an AC of 12.
What about the
Fine,
cloak
are
that
you
I got?
there?
What does it have any
I'm here,
AC?
sir.
Okay, give me a second to check some tables.
Gonna guess you and I are armored enough that it's probably just capes for cold resistance. Sorry, as in weather resistance rather than actual AC.
Okay.
The squishies are going to be the ones who benefit more.
Sorry, I zoned out completely. Do you need me to roll? You need me to roll something?
No, not to roll something, but your armor now has an AC of 12 instead of 11.
Okay.
From the
Also,
additional
remember,
fur.
Ed, I don't wear armor. I'm a barbarian.
Yeah,
I just wear clothing. I don't wear armor.
yeah, and you don't want to be wearing armor, otherwise you'll lose the unarmored bonus.
Yup.
Yeah, no. Cloaks will just, generally speaking, depending on the color of cloak that you've picked, if you're in a forest setting, they will give you a +1 to stealth. But other than that, no, they don't do much, other than obviously keep you warm.
And this cloak was you said it was a black one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, while the goblin, now I'm calling him a goblin.
They
He
are
is a goblin.
Say. Anyway, while he's busy with the pink cloak, Igvar holds up one of the black and one of the green and goes, "Do you still want a normal fare?"
Oh, absolutely. These are for me. That one's for... Well, we'll get there.
Ah, fair enough. Do you want one or two?
Could you describe to me the two that you're holding up, Ingvar?
Would
One's
you like
black
me
and
to do
one's
the
grey.
description, or...
If you want. I'm just holding these fares like a fool.
Okay, so in your
I wanted
left
to give
hand,
Lydia
you
the
are
floor for riffing.
holding a sort of forest green cloak with sort of a fur-lined interior that the fur lining sort of ends just below the shoulders and has a hood. In your right hand, you are holding a dark grey cloak, which does not have a hood, but has small metal pauldrons on the shoulders, and does seem to be fully lined in fur.
Definitely the one with the hood.
Fair enough. And he holds out the one with the hood.
Yep.
Marvelous.
You can add a forest green ranger's cloak to your inventory, Ed, which gives you a +1 to stealth in forested areas.
Mm-hmm. 0. Nice. Okay.
And
Ugh.
I suppose I shall take this one for myself then.
Mm-hmm. Right. After about 10 to 15 minutes, the goblin comes back down from his workshop and hands to you, Ed, the pink cloak, which has a hood, by the way, and very, very fluffy pauldrons on it. And shows you the design that has now been embroidered onto the sort of back section of the cloak just underneath where the hood is. The design is that of a branching oak tree with an elk's skull, or a deer skull, on the trunk.
That is a work of art. I didn't catch your name, by the way.
Demora. My
Demora,
friend.
that is an absolute work of art. How much do I owe you, my friend?
Oh, for this? Nothing much. 5 silver will do the job nicely.
I pay him 5 silver. Not using quick spend. Right.
I wish there was a box you could tick off which currency to use.
Yeah, that would be nice.
It would be helpful.
But, sorry, meta-wise, can I just double check? So Darren is now dressed, yes?
Yes.
And everyone else's items have been paid for?
Yes.
I believe so, as long as you guys have taken away the relevant currency from your character sheets.
Fair enough. In which case,
Ingvar asks, "How much do I owe you for the fur?" So
there we go.
The goblin turns to you and goes, 7 silver.
fair enough. So he pays the. So that's 7 silver. No, 7. 1 gold and 14 silver altogether.
1 gold.
'Cause it was 1 gold,
Basically,
7.
it's 1 gold, 5, and then 7 silver for the rest. So that would be 2 gold and 2 silver, basically.
So yeah,
I think that's right.
fair enough. So he hands all the money he owes over to him.
Mm-hmm. And the goblin sort of turns to you all and says, "Thank you for your I've forgotten the word. Fuck.
Custom?
Patronage.
Patronage. Yes. Thank you for your patronage, and please do come by again if you ever need something a little more fabulous."
Of course. Just one more question, though. Whose
Yes?
funeral would I be attending exactly? And he's just going to give him the most, like unblinking stare.
The goblin, actually, roll for intimidation.
Okay.
What a house.
I've made a promise to myself, by the way. I want everyone to know this. I'm keeping the D20 exactly in the center of my desk and not fidgeting with it the whole session this time. I'm going to do this, goddammit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that is a 18 plus 3, 21 total.
The goblin sort of leans back a little and looks to his left and to his right and goes, pink isn't Dimani's favorite color.
Is or isn't? Sorry, I didn't catch that.
Isn't Dimani? Dimani is only ever represented in shades of green or brown or anything
right.
like that.
Oh, no, okay. Let me put your mind at rest then. No, I didn't mean to insult you in that sort of way, pal. This cloak isn't for me. This is for a... How to put this? Can you keep a secret, friend?
The goblin nods.
It's for a disguise.
The goblin sort of looks at you and goes, what sort of disguise would require you to stand out so much?
The kind of disguise that looks like nothing I would ever wear. And
I
also,
see.
nothing anyone who knows about religion would ever wear.
I see. Well, good luck with that, my friend.
You're very kind, and thank you very much. I truly am sorry if I gave you a start back there. Unfortunately, in our line of work, we we hear a lot of ominous statements that often come around and mean something different.
The goblin sort of nods. He looks a little shaken at this point.
Can I pat him on the shoulder?
You would have to lean down quite far, but yes,
No,
you can.
indeed. But he's going to reach down and sort of gesture to pat him on the shoulder, like, you do some fantastic work here. You're going to make a real go of this. If you haven't already, I mean, you've got your own store.
The goblin sort of... He still looks mildly terrified, but he nods and goes, thank you.
And if this ever works out, and if I'm alive on the other side to remember it, I'll remember your name.
The goblin sort of nods at this.
And, yes, I'm going to hope Darren's okay with this, to say we lead our way out? Or lead our way at least downstairs to the cobblers?
Line?
He's on bio break at the moment.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that will probably work just fine.
Okay.
Just off the rails.
Just parachute on down.
And
With the
we are now
pantaloons.
going to take a very quick 5-minute break. Because we've been going for about an hour and 30 minutes. So yeah.
We only have an hour. We only have an hour left, so.
Well, an hour and 10 minutes-ish. Yes, we shall go take a quick break, everybody. Grab some food, grab some snacks, grab some drinks, etc., etc. We'll be back in about 10 minutes, or 5 to 10 minutes. We'll see you then.
Oh, I'll be back. I'm gonna stay here and chat. Calgary.
I return.
Your turn. Welcome back.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. 4 hours. Let's see. On the way from Calgary at midnight? Oh, it's already out for delivery in the morning here, so it should be here soon. Well, before the others get back, I'm gonna go quickly check the mailbox. I'll be right back.
Mm-hmm. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're all enjoying today's session. And thank you to Zira Bitfrost, now that I have a chance, for the follow. Yeah, today has been a very relatively interesting session, methinks, so far. Yeah. It's definitely one of the more roleplay focused sessions today, rather than one of the more combat focused sessions. Though we do still have time for combat, we shall see. Unfortunately, a lot of the map that is past this border, I still need to build. As you can probably tell, it's not ready yet. All of the northern section of the map, which is all the way over there, is not yet constructed. If we just get a quick overview. There we go. So, as you guys can see, this is the map of the fourth section. Now, the map in TaleSpire, I've actually been spending quite a while building it. And we've ended up with a lot of interesting sort of geographical features. I need to add more of an adjustment to this.
Yes, we'll do that later.
There's a lot to be done, basically.
I am back.
Welcome back, Sarah. I'm just talking about the map construction for Shadows of Sorcery and the way I've been laying stuff out for the sessions, and slowly building stuff up as well. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with how it looks so far, to be honest.
I mean, this town definitely has a little bit more of a
cohesive style.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But it kind of feels more like a town you would find, back in the day. It doesn't have that, grid, too much of a grid structure.
Neither did the other one, to be honest. I mean, parts of it did. I'll give you that. But the other one was...
Let's fly back. Where is it? This way.
Just follow the roads.
Yeah, one thing, though, I would recommend is maybe break down the map a little bit so it's not overly big, because then it's all these resources that you have to load.
Actually, it doesn't matter. If you go too far away from parts of the map, they just unload.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah. If you're not within view distance of Daniseld, it doesn't load in.
I mean, that's fair. There is the edge of the world cut off there I'm seeing now as I hover in the air.
So yeah, anything that is beyond that view distance just does not load in for you. But yeah, like, Daniseld is on a grid, somewhat, but it's not a New York style grid, in that it's not like rows and like everything. It does have street separation here and there, and there are definitely parts that are more grid-like than others, but the way I designed it was definitely more a case of parts of it are older and parts of it are newer, and some parts have been built up and other parts have been torn down and rebuilt, etc., etc.
Hang on, I accidentally hit end stream, so it's gonna go ahead and...
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I've got a 5-minute timer where that would have automatically killed my stream, so I had to go disable that program quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Because that would not have been fun.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, the town of Dre is a lot smaller, a lot cozier than Daniseld is. Daniseld is more of a city or like a large town at the very least.
I would say a large town, not really a city. I mean, the biggest feature of it is the church.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but there's also, there's a church, there's a temple, but there's also a huge part that of it that is not complete.
Yes, that is true. I only built as much as you guys would end up visiting, basically. There will be eventually more. And Danisel is obviously incomplete, but so is Dre. Dre is also incomplete. There are buildings that are half built, or just the foundations. Some of them are intentionally that way. 2 of them are not, but I didn't get around to finishing them, and they weren't really important, so, but yeah, no. I'm relatively happy with how this area is turning out. Eventually, I'll be doing a lot more terraining work and a lot less, town construction, because you guys are going to end up going up into the northern mountains, by the look of it. And you'll be ending up in Hammerfell and Cragstead and Daggerfall Pass, etc., etc. And those are going to be mostly either interiors or big geographical bits and pieces. So yeah, they'll take me a little while, but I'll get there eventually.
Oh, that's the main thing, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Right, are we all back?
Lion's still on mute.
I managed to go get myself a cup of tea.
Lucky you.
It is, of course, entirely possible that Lion is back and forgotten they're on mute.
Yeah, but I think us mentioning that they are muted would remind them.
Yeah.
Probably.
I grabbed some lattice crisps and some spiced chocolate almonds.
Making me hungry. I mean,
That's Lydia's line.
Nowadays it's my line, but but yeah.
Okay. I know we're gonna be going to the cobbler here. I actually do have to step away. Sorry for one more second. I'll just follow along with the group. I'll be back.
All right.
Yeah, just kick it onto autopilot.
Lydia running away from the cobblers by the look of it.
Am I going in the wrong direction?
Yes, the cobblers is under the tailors.
Oh, I thought it was the house next door.
No.
Nope. That's a tavern.
I mean, there's nothing to say we can't. If with Gilcon autopilot and Lying still AFK, I suppose there's nothing to say we can't start it proceeding, since it's mostly only Ingvar who wants to go there.
Yeah, no, that's definitely true.
With these cold toes,
Coldy toes.
chilled toes.
Frozy toes. There we go.
It's like blue balls, except it's blue toes. I don't know.
And that is where we leave that.
I don't know where I was going with that.
I mean, if anything, it's the opposite. It's not your toes haven't been getting much action, it's that your toes have been getting too much of the wrong action.
Exactly. Anywho.
You see what I deal with, chap?
Hey, I have to deal with this from Lydia when they're in my chat, so it's nice to be able to give back.
I mean, so do I. They're my mod as well.
Indeed.
Lydia, fantastic mod, but also, how dare you?
How dare I?
How dare you? Oh god. Yeah. Okay. As you enter the lower portion of the tailor shop, it seems like it's mostly a warehouse, with a small corner where a goblin is working, bashing away at a boot on what looks like an anvil, which, yes, We're sure they're a goblin, Ed. It is
Yeah.
a family of goblins who run the tailor's shop, the cobblers, and the docks. And no, it's not a goblin mafia.
Oh dear.
Well, it might be a goblin mafia. Who knows?
The Goblin Alliance. Anyhow.
Also known
yeah.
as the GA!
Anyway, yeah. As you enter, you observe that most of this lower portion of the building is... It seems to be a warehouse of some sort. There's barrels everywhere, there's boxes, there's actually a pile of fabrics in one corner, and there's a bunch of bags full of grain and other assorted, like, long winter foods sitting in one corner. And next to the roaring fireplace stands a goblin who is currently working on a boot. Not with the right tools, but they're making it work. They're making it do. They're making do with it.
So Igbar looks around the building and then looks over to the goblin and goes, "My good sir! Excuse me!"
The goblin looks up and goes, "What do you want?"
We were told by your friend upstairs that you work in boots.
Ah, I see. You're looking for a suitable footwear. Yes. Demora sent you down to, and he looks at your feet and goes, "What are you wearing? Those are a travesty. I'm sure we can do better than that."
Why does everybody judge my sandals today?
You are in the frozen cold north. Those, you're just asking to lose some toes.
I think they're aware of that, which is why they're standing in your establishment.
The goblin sort of turns to the table behind him, where there's a couple of pairs of boots lined up, and there doesn't seem to be much of a selection, but he picks up a pair with they're in brown, they're leather, they have brass buckles, and they are sort of they come up to about, what would that be?
What I miss?
Above ankle.
We in the cobblers.
Mid-
Come join.
Is that is that a
Literally
euphemism?
one floor down.
Oh,
Yeah,
right. Shoemakers. Gotcha.
shoemakers, yes.
Yes,
they're
my
sort
sandals
of
are being
above
installed again.
ankle boots, and he plucks them off the table and he throws them to you and says, "Try these on."
Ah,
Do we have a name for this this gnome?
Nobody's asked yet.
Okay.
Gnome.
It's a goblin.
Running gag.
he sort of flails a moment before the shoes kind of whop him on in the chest.
Who makes ankle boots in this climate?
They're above ankle. They come up to like 5 inches below the knee, ish. I couldn't remember the name for that sort of boot, basically.
And so Igvar struggles just for a second, but he manages to get the right foot on, which is his normal foot.
Mm-hmm.
But it appears the prosthetic foot is just a little bit too large to fit into the other shoe.
We
the
sand it
goblin-
down.
You're not sanding me foot down!
The prosthetic one.
That's not the point!
Well, they should be like as close to the like organic one.
The goblin looks at your troubles for a moment and then goes and plucks another boot from the table that seems to be a slightly larger size and chucks that one at you and goes, "Try this one."
He manages to catch the boot this time and Struggles a little bit as well, but manages to slide this boot on as well.
And
Yeah,
Goblin
this-
sort of looks at you and nods approvingly and says, well, a good pair of boots. They'll last you a couple of years at this point. A good 100 and so miles treaded in those. Obviously, they aren't going to be cheap.
No, I can understand that because they're two different size boots from two different pairs.
Yes, I'm going to have to manufacture another 2 boots to go with them.
Unless you find somebody who's got a peg leg or something, I don't know.
Or 2 really weirdly shaped feet.
Mm-hmm. The goblin sort of squints at you for a moment, trying to figure out if you're joking or not, and then goes, at any rate, for the pair, as mismatched as it may be, I think 7 gold should do nicely.
7 gold.
That's
Mhm.
that's more than we
That's-
got for the massacre.
No.
Well, you got 3 gold each, which would total
Yeah.
to 12 gold. But, yeah.
4 gold of which went to Ingvar anyway.
Hmm.
7 gold seems a little bit steep, even though they are 2 different pairs.
The
Perhaps-
goblin sort of gestures to you and goes, in this climate, a good pair of boots is very hard to come by, my friend.
I can do 5. I can do 5 gold if that's
6 gold.
5 gold and 5 silver.
5 gold, 7 silver.
Yeah, that seems fair. That'll do.
The goblin extends a hand to shake.
He bends down a little to shake his hand and then holds out the money with his other hand. There you go.
The goblin snatches it all up and pulls 1 coin at random from the pack and bites into it, and nods approvingly, and turns around and pockets it all. Says, if you have any other business, do let me know.
I don't believe we got your name, sir.
I'm Dorma.
Right. I don't suppose you've seen Lemus around, have you?
Lemur?
Yeah, that's-
No, I haven't.
Hmm.
Haven't
You know-
seen
you know
him
where
in a
I
while,
might-
actually.
Do you know where I might find him normally?
I'm afraid not.
Alright.
Demora is the one who usually takes track of all our siblings, but Lemur is usually slippery. And he gives you a toothy grin.
Alright.
Wait.
I will, on that note, make my way to the dock, I believe was where the other
To
guy
the
said.
docks, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Although I don't know where those are on this map.
Look for the river, I guess.
I'm just going to point out, Lucian, literally anything without land on it is water.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, it's difficult. Fine. The docks are at the east end of town.
where the
There's a
tower
kitty
is?
on my lap. There's a kitty on my lap. On my lap.
Hold on. How do I
This
mark
sort of
this?
jetty bit that's just before the bridge.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. Yes, our friend upstairs mentioned the docks. Shall we all head there?
Sure, why not?
I'll place it on your solid on the radar.
That's a hell of a
Anyone
radar.
wants a hand with with carrying a stool and possibly punching
Yes,
somebody in the face?
Well, I'm sure Gilk would love to punch somebody in the face.
Probably.
I've only known you for like 4 days, and already I know you so well.
Tragic, really.
While on the way over there, Isaac is going to sort of address Darren. I was like, by the way, did you find out anything more about your dragon friends?
Not a single peep, unfortunately.
I've managed to drop myself in the ocean. Hang on a minute. I'm fishing myself out.
I think it's control to raise your altitude.
Yep.
There
Thank
go.
you.
There you are.
Oh,
No,
so
unfortunately-
nothing good in the library
unfortunately,
then.
No, the reading material here is agricultural and pastoral, to say the least.
Ah, fair enough. How much do you already know about them? Just so I can check if the only thing I know is something you already know.
How much would I know, Lucian?
You know...
As someone who is decently fascinated by the subject and would have been spending quite a bit of their 54 years learning it.
You know basic folklore, general anatomy, not much on the original creation, because there isn't much on the original creation of dragons. Sort of just general knowledge is really all that's left, basically.
Alright. Well, you know, I know the basics. I know all the old stories. I don't really know where they came from. That's a bit of a blank page for a lot of people. Anatomy, though, I'm very good with.
Right. So, would it help to know that they're fragments of the soul of Manure?
Anatomically speaking, probably not, but magically, maybe.
Well, there you go then. So it gives him a little sort of pinch on the shoulder.
But that's also like fairly. Is that not fairly well-known stuff?
No, that is not
No?
fairly common.
Oh, is that specific to Isaac's group?
No, that is specific to Isaac having
That's specific to like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, specific to 2 weeks ago when Isaac accidentally talked to a god. So, you know.
Right. Yeah. That wasn't the ghost dragon I thought I'm thinking of also.
No.
Okay, right. Neat.
That also
look at-
explains the whole ghost dragon business.
Yeah, I'll have to look into that one. Interesting lead. Okay, I see a goblin. Do I see a stool anywhere?
They dropped it
You
into the
do.
ocean.
Yay! There it is!
There is a stool. It is at the back of a cave filled with, well, cave. It's more like a small warehouse.
The cave is filled with cave.
Cave is filled with cave, yes.
Most
It's filled with like boxes and a variety of other stuff. There in the corner there is what looks like a big vat that is gently spewing what smells like honey and some sort of other fruits, like smelling smoke, basically from the top. There is a goblin who is clattering a stick across some boxes as he sort of hums a tune to himself, apparently waiting for something.
Hello? Would you happen to be Lemur?
Who's asking?
Just a helpful group of travelers, is all.
Helpful? Nobody's helpful around here.
Actually, quite a surprising amount of people have been quite helpful in finding you.
The goblin sort of looks to his left and to his right, very sort of shifty-eyed, and goes, well, still, who wants to know?
The name's Oswald Cobblepot, and we're here on the behalf of the local library, which I'm afraid has had some of its resources go missing recently.
Well, Mr. Cobblepot, you can tell that idiot librarian that we don't want nothing to do with him.
Oh, well, that'll be very easy to manage. Would you happen to have a stool anywhere?
What's a stool?
It's like a chair with no back to it, 4 legs, kind of circular. There was one in the library, but it recently went missing, unfortunately, and we're trying to see if we can source a replacement.
We thought that someone who works down at the docks, a lot of trade passing through, might have seen someone hauling it around.
The goblin sort of he's being very shifty-eyed at this point. He doesn't.
I bet he is.
He doesn't particularly seem to want to talk to you anymore, and he goes, "Well, I'm sure there's plenty of traders that come by, but I can't say I've ever seen a stool."
I suppose you wouldn't have seen much come through here. There is only one entrance. And that is in
Conveniently also
bold.
means there's only one exit too. Yeah, we could if you stuck a few people at the front, no one would ever get past. Ever.
The goblin sort of looks around for a moment, and then, with a sigh, he goes, "Look, all right, you seem like astute people.
What did you say about my height?
Astute, not a stout.
Oh,
The goblin
Great, to
sort of
deliver a dwarf.
sort of shifts very slightly and goes, I'm sure you're all quite reasonable.
well, three of us might be. The other one we can't quite vouch for.
I'll be happy to give the old gnome his stool back as soon as he pays up.
Pays for what exactly?
Books delivery. He still hasn't
Oh.
paid.
How much are we talking? And for what books?
35 gold, a box full of books shipped here in the past 2 weeks. We delivered the stuff and he won't pay up.
I'm gonna roll perception on this. Is he pulling our leg?
I was going to say, can I help his insight?
Sure, roll me insight.
Because that's a lot of gold.
Oh, finally, something good.
The goblin.
doubt you even need the advantage. Jesus.
Hey, it'll help. It'll help. There's
The
a
goblin-
21 total.
Isn't technically lying. He's lying about something, but what you can tell is that he is telling the truth about the librarian owing them an amount of gold. The 35 gold seems to be a little bit of a stretch, though.
Just a bit.
It's
Stretch
possible
Armstrong
that
was
he
trouble
may
with
be
that.
stretching the truth on that part of it.
Well, since he's in the delivery business, you wouldn't mind showing us the accounting book for the delivery, would you?
Yeah, you must have a receipt.
Just to make sure the decimal
Wait,
point's
hang
in the
on.
right
Why is
place.
the barbarian asking that?
He's still a businessman.
The goblin sort of looks around fervently and goes, you think I can read? I can't read.
No, but
My
we can.
brother does all that.
Which brother?
Demora. Demora does all the reading.
Does he keep the books up there with him, or do you keep the books down here for him to come
He had
down
an
and read?
accounting book in the store.
Yes, but that's probably the accounting book of the store, unless we're
I
trying to...
don't know.
It's about
He
diversifying
does
your
the
businesses,
books.
Darren.
I don't do the books. Alright?
Okay, so it is one consolidated book,
you
but
want
that was
that
worth
stool back,
establishing.
you go take it up with the old gnome and get us our pay.
Well, we can certainly see about that, but seeing as we're here anyway, why don't you just hand over that stool, we'll go deliver it, and we'll come back with your pay. Your rightfully earned pay.
Nah. This stool stays here until we get paid. You got that?
Would you like?
Gilk just walks over and picks up the stool.
The goblin...
Thank you so much. Your
As you
cooperation is
get
greatly
close-
appreciated.
As you get...
And
As Gilk gets close to the stool, the goblin picks up the stick and whacks you on the hand, Gilk.
oh no,
It
Gilk, I urge you not to murder another man on the basis of purely a stick.
As
Gilk.
I've
Gilk, I'm just going to point out.
Hang on. As I've nearly picked up the stool, I'm bent over. I look over him. You really don't want to do that.
Now can we chime in?
Okay. Real quick.
Never mind. I was just asking Gilk, now can we throw in extra dialogue from Darren and I?
Yeah.
Okay. In which case we're going to be just, look, all I'm saying, buddy, is you killed a giant the other day. You don't need to balance it out by a goblin on the other end.
Ilk, please. 16 people are already dead. We can't suffer another on our conscience.
I give a menacing smile to the goblin as they say these words behind me.
Granted, they were shady characters, but this one's great
No.
at best.
No, the nunnery. That was
They
such a
were
bloodbath.
shady. That's absolutely
Roll me intimidation on the goblin.
God, in the
With advantage
orphanage,
from
I've
them?
never heard such screams.
Can I get advantage based on their comments?
Yes.
We're
you
hype
can.
manning him.
Yeah, we absolutely are.
Whee! There's one. Where'd it go?
Do not roll that d20 in this enclosed space.
Good lord.
Whee! I have no idea where they went.
Well, one of them
They're
was a
just somewhere in the
19, so
ocean.
yeah.
Doesn't matter. That 19.
As you grin at the goblin sort of hears these comments and sort of goblins
I'll never-
can't really turn white, but
I'll
he
never
goes
look
a
at the
very
celery stick
pale
again.
green and scarpers it through the side tunnel of the warehouse as
That's what I
fast
thought.
as his little legs can carry him.
Jesus Christ.
You know, if he knew there was a side tunnel, you wouldn't have thought he'd panic about my comment on one entrance.
Well,
Maybe he forgot about it.
just because
Well,
that goes somewhere
in
doesn't mean it goes
fairness,
outside.
Gilk was standing in front of it before,
True.
so
I mean, I was just trying to make a sass comment that the goblin was stupid, but okay.
Alright, well, I pick up the stool. Let's go. To the librarian.
The library.
Or on the way, would someone like to explain to me why we're helping a librarian with furniture repossession?
Because honestly, he doesn't have a lot going for him.
Poor fella.
Uh-huh.
So I thought I'd be neighborly.
So, Gilk will enter this.
Can Gilk even fit in this? Library's tiny.
Yeah.
I think we're agreed that they probably just got a decimal the wrong side one way, right? It's probably 3.5 gold.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
Everybody squeeze in.
I
Oh,
can't
boy.
even. Come on. I can't even bloody zoom in.
as you all
world's
march
tiniest
into
library.
the bookstore, the gnome looks up in surprise and, looking at what Gilk's holding, he goes, "My stool!"
I raise it over my head and say, "Not so fast. I hear you haven't paid the goblins."
There we go.
Christ, it's tiny in here.
The gnome sort of turns to you and goes, "Those goblins were asking for an extortionate amount."
I can believe you. How much was that, by the way?
Yes, 25 gold, I think. It was a ridiculous amount for a couple of books.
He
To
was
Darren, well, that's already 10 that they tried to swindle more out of us.
Yep. Having seen the books in this particular establishment, I can agree it was somewhat of an egregious cost.
What would you say is a more reasonable amount that should have been paid for such books?
5, 6 gold at most?
Uh-huh.
I think that
You
goblin.
have invoice for the books?
The gnome digs through a couple of disorganized sheets of parchment and then holds one up. On it, there is a couple of scribblings for a couple of old tomes that have been shipped to the gnome. And the pricing comes to around about 5 gold.
Isaac, can you tell if any of the goblins may have signed this?
This seems to be the invoice direct for the books themselves, not the invoice for the shipment.
Right. I don't suppose you happen to... Is the amount on this sheet affordable to you?
The gnome sort of looks at it and goes, "Well, it's most of my savings, but yes, I suppose."
Well, if you bought a 5 gold order of books, then you should rightly pay for a 5 gold order of books.
But I did. I paid the original. The original shipment was due to arrive a few days ago, and then it was late. And I went down to the docks, and the goblins said that they could get it here in time. And I already paid the original shipment, the original price for the shipment.
So basically, they were trying to swindle us out of another 35 gold we'd already paid.
Swindle him, but yes.
Yeah.
This original shipping company, does it happen to be run by goblins?
The gnome sort of shakes his head and goes, no. The original company, the original shipment was by elves. I was bringing stuff, I was having some stuff brought in from the east.
Rather impressive that a collection of goblins in a tailor shop, cobblers, and a docks would be able to get hold of elvish imports from the east on short notice.
I don't know how they operate. All I know is that they said that they could get me my shipment.
Fascinating.
Oh, maybe we should go talk to the brother elves, or brother goblins then. I'll put the stool down.
Let's go see a tailor about some imports, shall we?
Let's go see a tailor about some elves.
let's go see a tailor about a matter of imports.
Well, we're leaving the chair here on faith.
All right. Head to the tailor shop, I guess.
Yeah. We're on a small town mystery dive here.
In which Ingvar has yet again gone in the wrong direction.
Do you know where this tailor is?
Yes, we've been there.
Come on,
Up the
Captain.
stairs.
Don't
Yes,
forget
use
to
the
use
arrow
arrow
keys to move.
keys to move yourself around
Yeah.
as well, Lydia.
Yeah, I've got it. Just the camera's being weird today.
Oh yeah.
As you enter the tailor's shop, the goblin who is checking through some of his books turns to you and goes, "My friends, welcome back, welcome back. What can I do for you? I hope my
can
brother
tell us-
was accommodating."
Oh,
You
for
can tell us
sorts.
about the bookkeeper.
The bookkeeper? What do you mean?
Who is it that files your accounts?
Well, me, obviously. I file all the accounts for the tailoring shop.
Sorry, it's
How
just your brother down at the docks was trying to help us with a little query matter, and directed us to you as the person who handles the booking.
Well, yes, I suppose I do on occasion handle his books as well. He can't read or write, you see.
Yes, he
Yeah, so he
mentioned.
said.
Did you happen to handle his accounts regarding a particular book shipment recently?
The goblin sort of scratches his head and goes, "No, I can't seem to recall a book shipment, I'm afraid."
So when you say you don't always handle his bookkeeping, does he occasionally handle it himself, or attempt to, or does someone else step in from time to time?
Well, there are 15 of us in town, and sometimes we have to share the work.
Fair enough.
Are we talking 15 in general or 15 goblins?
15.
Don't know what the difference would be.
The tailor sort of shakes his head and says, 15 in the family. Not
Oh.
15 goblins, but 15 in the family.
Of course.
You have non-golden
I have
brothers?
6 cousins, 3 brothers, and 2 sisters, and obviously their husbands and wives and all of that sort of thing.
I see.
Any
I know-
elves, perchance?
Elves? Oh, you won't find an elf up here. It's far too cold for them.
Makes sense. I understand this is a rather uncomfortable question to ask someone. So
Oh, boy.
I'm gonna.
Are you
I'm
about
gonna
to
ask you to
racially
give-
profile this goblin?
No, not at all. I'm just about to say I'm gonna ask for a little bit of leeway here. And he's going to lean down to try and sort of more casually chat to him, but with the same kind of staring through him that he did when he asked about the funeral. It's like,
Okay.
is there anyone in your family you might particularly point to as somewhat more unscrupulous than a good businessman like yourself? We feel that someone might have made an accidental error, Yelk. They may have made an error and overcharged someone unnecessarily.
The goblin sort of
You'd tell us that, wouldn't you, friend?
scratches his head and looks a little uncomfortable and then goes, look, you didn't hear this from me, all right?
Of course not, of course not.
My other brother, Binmore, right?
The cobbler one, or the ones down the way?
One of the other ones.
Okay. Darren, write
He's
this
been
down.
known to make bad decisions at times. He's not a bad person.
Of course
trust me,
not.
But
We all
but
make
he
mistakes.
has been known to make clerical errors. He's not as good with the numbers as I am. You see.
Of course, who would be?
The goblin sort of shakes his head and continues on and goes, look, if you see Vin, just tell him to double check the books, all right?
Absolutely, we'd handle it very, very smoothly.
Very carefully. Very, very gently, even. Where might we find Finmore?
I don't know. I haven't seen him in a week. But if you do see him, please do let me know.
Of course. Do you have any kind of ballpark as to maybe which department he works in, where he stays regularly? Somewhere where we could find maybe a lead on him.
The goblin shakes his head and then goes, last I heard, he was at the stables. And then nothing. I haven't seen or heard from him in a while. I'm sorry. If I could be more help, I would.
It's completely fine. It sounds like, actually, if anything, and like does the sort of the open arm gesture to the group, if anything, we should go find Vinmore, just to make sure he's okay.
Absolutely, a wellness check might do him a world of good.
Yeah, sounds like a plan. And if we can't find them at the stables, then perhaps the bar might be a good place to ask around.
Yeah, and if we have any further trouble finding this particular relative of yours, we'll be sure to stop on again.
But if we do find him, we didn't hear about him from you.
The goblin sort of fidgets and nods. Yeah.
I love that
stables
being.
where
I love that being basically the tallest people in this entire area. Apparently, we're effectively just taking a role as the enforcers.
Also, this is like the third time we've become a sort of weird private police force.
Well, we're just looking out for somebody, just doing a public good.
side quests, man.
Yeet.
Good experience.
Yeah.
I like how both of you just jumped over the balcony.
Just Isaac's
I
going
had
to
the
just tail
decency to
behind it.
teleport.
Isaac's going to tail behind a little bit and just sort of like lean down and pat on the shoulder. I know they can be a bit scary. Sorry about that.
Are you the
The
good
goblin
cop?
sort of just smiles in
You're
a
the
way
one.
that makes him look terrified.
Keep smiling. Stay strong. Good man. And makes his way out.
So are these the only stables, or is there
These
another?
are the only stables in the town.
Okay.
Isaac is going to be staying well back.
Where's the
Understandable, you
stable
just had to
hand or stable master?
The stable master is not around at the moment. However, you do notice. Let me grab the miniature. You do notice a stable hand shoveling shit.
And it all comes back to the shit.
Mm-hmm.
It all
You
comes
there.
back to the mule manure. The stable hand turns around and goes, what do you want?
Looking for a particular goblin.
Goblin? Oh, you mean Vinmore?
Yes.
Oh, Vinmore. Let's see. What are you after him for this time? Is it the gambling debts, or is it one of the other things?
Does it matter?
I suppose not. You won't find him in town, though, I'm afraid. No,
Where'd he
no.
gone up to?
Vinmore left about a week ago. Was heading east, he said.
Since he came here, does he have a mount?
Yes, he does. An old grey donkey. Quite short. But he left a week ago. If he's not back by now, I'm afraid I don't know where he is.
Thank you, good sir. And flicks him over a copper piece.
The stable hand grabs it out of the air, bites into it, nods at you, and walks off.
Sounds like we're heading east.
Yep. Across the river.
For purposes of expediency, is it permission to cliff notes through just have from the edge of that conversation, ducking back to the library, informing the librarian it's probably just a clerical error from a Vinmore, just in case anyone comes back looking for the stool to repossess. But we're looking into it further.
That's fine.
Cool.
It is doable.
Probably letting the other brother know not to cause any trouble with the librarian until we return.
I mean, we can't find the doc brother anywhere. He's disappeared.
No,
No, that's the one that
tailor.
went to the cave.
No, let the tailor know to keep an eye on his other family members, not to trouble the librarian until we return.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah. Specifically the doc brother.
Yeah.
Or doc cousin, rather.
And then I say, because we're running low on time, so I say just gather any materials needed, pack the mule, and start heading east for the next time.
I'm chill with that if everyone else is.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine.
Okay.
All right. Lucian, you still need to give me control of the mule since you never have
Yes.
actually done that.
Good point.
Give that man a mule.
Second.
Ingvar just kind of
Men love
Oh.
mules.
Ingvar pulls on the fur and he's just like, I'm never taking this off again.
There you go, Sarah.
What? The frozen north giving you cold feet.
One
Man.
cold foot at least.
Yeah, pretty much.
Too bad I can't select both of them.
Sorry, dad joke.
Yeah.
It's fine, I've heard worse.
Right. So for the reference of future Lucian, we are actively not slaughtering a pile of goblins and are actually trying to
Yes.
solve a local economic slight.
Not trying to kill a pile of goblins yet.
Quite genuinely, we're just here to fix the accounting error.
Oh,
Yeah.
did I accidentally just... I accidentally just
I'm-
lying.
Hey!
Alright. Alright.
How
I was
dare
wondering
you?
where I went.
Give me a second.
I've been discombobulated.
It happens. Don't worry.
Not a discombobulation.
There we go.
There we go.
I thought I'd left a mini on the road by accident.
Wait,
but no,
I'm
you
apparently
just-
still not in the game.
Yeah, because I haven't given you control.
I see.
Yet.
Assuming direct control of Darren.
I am assuming direct control.
Love
Somebody
it.
did have that.
Jesus.
It's kind of annoying. Only some of the Discord voice effects actually come through.
There we
Here
go.
we go.
Okay. Right. Beyond this gate lies the frozen north.
Well, the east bit of the frozen north.
The eastern bit of the frozen north. Fine, yes.
The frozen northeast, otherwise known as Middlesbrough.
Frozen north and a bit to the right.
Frozen north and a bit to the right. You'll probably end
Straight
up
on till
heading,
morning.
heading along the eastern,
Damn you.
northeastern road for a while. There will be several branching paths. One which will head southeast, one which will head north directly. There will be a few inns along the way, and eventually there will be the town of Cragstead, the Daggerfall Pass, and beyond that, the dwarven city of Hammerfell. But that is all for next time. For today, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for joining us for this session of Shadows of Sorcery. We have had a fun time today, I would hope.
Yeah.
I
as
do
my-
recommend. We should have done it like. I should have recommended this earlier, but because this is the October one, we should have had a whole bunch of like goblins, ghouls, and ghosts.
Oh, we
Maybe
had a
we'll
lot
Well,
of
I
like
gave you
that's for sure.
goblins, so take from that what
Maybe-
you will.
I'm more
Um,
looking at the spooky stuff. Maybe we'll hit a cave of mysteries or something.
Anyway,
Well, we'll mix them together. Next month, we'll sort of go halfway. We'll have a bunch of skeletons in a cave, but they're wearing Christmas hats.
My donkey fires lasers.
Okay, that's spooky enough as it is.
your donkey apparently fires lasers out of its arse.
Hey, so can I.
I'm pretty sure that was an episode of Doom Patrol, wasn't it?
Yes, at one point.
At any rate,
Demon donkey. Demon donkey.
let's throw out some XP for the session.
I'm sorry, but this is amusing. My donkey's firing a magic missile just by spinning around.
You have fun
so
there.
You're each going to
XP.
receive 35 XP as base.
Right.
Lydia, for the accurate choice in clothing, if not the most flamboyant, I'm going to give you an additional 15 XP.
Thank you.
Ed, for general intimidation tactics and also playing mostly good cop this session.
Relentless Columboing.
I'm
There's
going
more
to
and
give
more
you...
Columbo creeping into Isaac as I go along, and I like it.
Just one more thing.
Yeah, I've done that twice now, fuck's sake.
I'm going to give you an additional 20 XP. On top of the 35 base.
Thank you.
Sarin, for pure unrivaled intimidation on basically everything,
And smell.
I'm going to give you an additional 25 XP.
Woo!
And Darren, for managing to progress your goal a little bit further, I'm going to give you an additional 20 XP.
I mean, to be fair, it's not hard to be intimidating when every single person you've met in this town is like under 5 feet tall.
Well, not all of them, but yes.
Besides the Elder and the Guards, every single person has been a gnome, a goblin, or interchangeably both.
Also, we absolutely should not come back to this town unless we've got definitive proof of Vinmore's lying, because we are now very much going to get reported.
Mm-hmm.
Luca, I am not 5 foot tall. I am in fact taller than that.
You're 5'2", aren't you?
No, that's how tall Plus is.
Oh yes, right. You're 5'1".
Yeah.
Oh.
Anyways,
Wait,
technically
so there's
speaking,
only
I
about
would be.
there's
I, would-
under a foot's difference between the dwarf and the human.
I would in fact be like, I would in fact be considered tall for a D&D dwarf.
That's fair. That is fair. Right.
I mean, there's literally 10 inches between you and Isaac. Yeah, like you're a tall dwarf.
Good God.
Well, the character themselves is different. I think. Let me see. Yeah, the character is 4'1".
Oh right.
I had a coworker that her height was 4'11". She is 1 inch taller than the average height for people with dwarfism.
Huh.
Interesting.
Good Lord.
Right. That concludes our session for today. Thank you all very much for joining us, everybody.
Don't go away yet. It's time to shoot shit.
Yeah, I will be back in about 5-10 minutes with Saren and Sliver for the final chapter of the Outriders World Slayer DLC.
Well, I don't think it's the final chapter. Are we that close to being done?
Well, yes, we are. We are.
Oh, jeez.
But yeah. For now, though, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all very much for joining us. I'll be back in 10 minutes. In the meantime, go grab a drink, go grab a snack, and we shall see you all in just a moment. Thank you all very much for joining us.
Bye.
And thank you to my esteemed players as well.
I've somehow connected to 2 different Discords.